Until Dawn. Again.
Ever heard of it? Ever heard of Until Dawn?
Okay, all right. Hopefully this works. We have technical difficulties, and it's my fault, and you can just blame me for literally everything that's ever been wrong with our recordings.
Like I always do. If I am ever inaccurate or sound not funny, it's your fault.
I mean, true.
And I need everyone to know that.
Or if our recording never works, it's me. It's always my computers.
But we literally have aligned the galaxies perfectly in order for this recording to go well. So.
I'm hoping that it stays good. But today we're going to be talking about Until Dawn, even though I probably already said that in the intro. Yeah. How did you first hear about this game, and when did you first play it?
So this game is like a decade old. I'm pretty sure the first version of it came out in like 2015. My friend was telling me about it for years. I finally played it. I want to say 2020 or 2021 maybe.
I'm surprised you played it and liked it.
Why?
Because it's horror and you don't like horror stuff.
It's not that I don't like gore. I don't like slasher, like Terrifier, like the monkey bullshit. It's just people dying. Like I don't care.
This is pretty slashery.
Yeah, but there's also a lot there.
There's like a twist.
There's like 50 twists. I don't know what twist you're talking about. There's like 100 twists. It's like multiple different horrors of genre too, because like there's part where it's like a ghost story, there's part where it's like a supernatural horror story, there's part where it's like a kidnapping, like a home invasion kind of thing, and
very true.
Killers on the loose. It's I love how they took all those tropes and threw them in, but yet they all like come together and it makes sense. Even part of it is Saw.
Yeah. That is true. I was like, oh, this definitely reminds me of Saw, like the part that you're talking about. And should we talk about spoilers? Should we just like get into spoilers whenever we want?
Listen, here's the thing. So we're fully talking about the game, not the movie. I know the movie obviously has a huge following, and people are so excited for that movie. Starring me and Alex, actually, we both cameo in the movie. This is a sponsored video.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about that, okay? We're not here. Like, we were on it. It sucks. Just don't go see it. Just kidding.
We will be talking about it when it comes out eventually.
Maybe you will. I don't think I'm going to see it.
What do you mean you're not going to see it? You have to now if we're talking about the game.
I know. Just kidding. No, I'll see it. I probably won't see it in theaters, though, if I'm being fully transparent.
I mean, I agree. It doesn't look like it's going to be great. It looks like they kind of switched it up and made it like a time loop movie, which the game is not that.
They took like the gameplay of the game and adapted to the movie, and not the storyline, which is usually the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So that's a really weird choice. I mean, I get it. Like, I don't see how Until Dawn, the story, is better as a movie than a game. It's meant to be a game, like it was.
Yeah. It was like built as the game, pretty much.
So it's not going to get better as like a single story. Yeah. So maybe that's why they did it. Either way, it just looks kind of basic. I don't know. We didn't need it, unfortunately. We just didn't need it.
The game, it's about these like people who go to this like retreat because there isn't one of them like looking for their lost sister or something.
They're not looking for their lost sister. They're the guy, I forget his name, Josh, played by Rami Malek, which famously was our first ever safe word.
Right. Yes, that's a full circle moment.
Yeah. His two sisters died, so his family has like a house. It's like a kind of like a wooden cabin type of deal, and like the top of like the most wintry, ominous mountain to ever exist. It's like probably like the same deal with the Bermuda Triangle. It's probably like people going missing like 85 times a year. And his two sisters died the previous year. And we kind of open the game and we see that, and we see like something shifty happen. No idea what. There's like, they're being watched through like weird heat detection goggles or something. There's like, creepy animal noises in the forest, and basically like there's a big group of friends. It's 10 friends, and then like they kind of ostracize the two sisters, so they run out, never seen again.
Yeah. And
it's it's an intense opening.
And as like the game progresses, like people start kind of like going missing, and then some of them are found, and
yeah,
as it goes along.
And the main plot of the game is like a year later, after the sisters go missing, the brother, played by Rami Malek, famously is like, hey everyone, so I know we like suffered like a traumatic event last year, but like let's just come hang out, like let's just do it again anyway. So then it's like eight characters come back, and they're all playable characters. Like you play as all 8 of these characters.
Yep.
And my favorite part is you get to make decisions on behalf of them.
Yeah, and I thought that I feel like nowadays, like since the game came out, like video games have kind of like progressed, but I feel like that was like one of the first real games where you could like where there's so many different options, and they just kind of made the game where you can just like pick and choose your own adventure. And I feel like it was like revolutionary for that kind of gameplay.
It definitely wasn't the first, but I think it probably did it the best at the time.
Right.
And that company, what's Supermassive Games, I think it is. They've released a lot of others. The Quarry is probably the next best. Very like the same exact thing, just different storyline, different characters. And didn't
they make like a second one for Until Dawn? They made like a second game, I think, but no one like
they made
it.
Essentially a remaster. It has like apparently a few added scenes and a few added like story decisions, but it's like a 95% the same game. And then like I think they added a new epilogue at the end.
There's on top of that, they made like a second Until Dawn. It's called like Until Dawn like Rush of Blood or something like that.
Oh,
and it's
that's
like some
a VR
stupid
game.
Spin-off. Yeah.
That's a VR game. So they have that, and then they have what they call the Dark Picture Anthology. So It's basically like they have a bunch of games. There's like 4 or 5. I've played every single one except for one of them.
Right.
And they're all like half the length of Until Dawn, and they all have like 4 or 5 characters instead of the full 8.
Yeah.
And there's a lot less important story decisions there, but they're all really good. Like they're all worth playing. I think what's the one? House of Ashes is awesome. I did see those on the PlayStation Store, and I was thinking about maybe picking those up eventually and trying to play them. The thing is, they're all eventually free. Like I have PS Plus, which like I pay like it's something like $120 a year for, so that is kind of expensive. But
you get a bunch of games.
You get 3 or 4 games for free every month, and then you have access to a catalog of like hundreds. And all the Dark Picture Anthology games eventually show up there. So I never paid money for any of them except for PS Plus. Like I just played through that.
We actually were thinking about potentially signing up for that. I just feel like we need to like maybe play more games before we do, so like because like I feel like it wouldn't be worth it for us personally if we're not playing as many games. So it's the price of two full price games. Okay, yeah,
but you get hundreds. So
True.
For me, as someone who like I joined I joined the PlayStation ecosystem like 7 or 8 years ago,
right?
And there's still a huge backlog of games that I never had access to before. So for me, there's literally always something on there that I want to play that I never have before. So for me, it's so worth it.
Right. Well, so this is
so exciting to me, by the way, because like you like were not a video game guy for years, and now suddenly you are. You're playing Death Stranding, which is, by the way, a game famous for filtering casual players. So I do want to talk about that, but we'll focus on Until Dawn for now.
Yeah, and I used to play. Oh my god, I used to play games. I used to play like a lot of games until like the newer generation consoles came out, and then I stopped kind of playing games. I felt like gaming kind of took on, like, a lot of people just play like Fortnite and all these like games where they can just like have a bunch of different characters that they buy separately, and then you just like play as these characters in these stupid like RPG games. I don't know. I always thought that like online gameplay like that kind of was ruining it for me, and I felt like a lot of games were going that way. But I'm glad that there's still games like Death Stranding or Until Dawn and others like that where you can kind of have like a cool story that's written really well and play along too, because that's my favorite part of like actually playing games.
Baby girl, they never stopped making those games.
I know. I just felt like the gaming in like industry in general has been trying to move away from that. At least like the more popular stuff, like even Call of Duty literally moved away from storyline games.
Yeah, I think so. You're not wrong, I guess, but like also like I've always been like a single player kind of person, like above all, and there's so many of them still. So I played Fortnite for like a time, like back when it was probably at its like peak. And that was really my last experience with like multiplayer. Oh, there's a cute game called like Fall Guys, which is like literally just play a bunch of mini games until you're the last one not eliminated. That one is really fun. It's like imagine Mario Party, but like 100 people play, and it's more the mini games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really fun, but I kind of got bored of that eventually. But I'm a single player person, like.
Yeah,
Spider-Man, God of War, like I said, all the story games.
That's my favorite part about playing games, especially if there's a good story, which I felt like Until Dawn definitely had that. But probably because Larry Fessenden was like the main writer and creator, and he's like a crazy good horror writer.
And tell us more about him.
Honestly, well, I can tell you is that in the game, you know how like towards the end they reveal that there's like Wendigos and like the story of that. He like a lot of his lore throughout his filmography is like that as well, and he has a whole movie called Wendigo that came out a couple years ago, which I haven't seen yet. It is on the watch list, but he's like kind of famous for like that kind of stuff. And he's just a wild, wacky guy, but he's a really good writer, and it definitely shows. And I didn't even know it's crazy that Until Dawn is even a thing, like that he came up with this like whole idea with like I think there's another guy that he worked with to create it, but I don't know, that's just insane.
And it's so cool that like there is one main storyline. Like I think no matter what you do, you eventually like will like I think 2 characters are guaranteed to get to the last chapter, so like, you can mess up as many times as possible and still get the full story. But I think there is a lot more payoff. Like obviously the more characters you help get to the end, the more like complete arcs you are able to see and stuff like that.
Yeah, I started like there was a couple characters that I didn't like that were just being really annoying, and I had a hard time trying to save them.
I am going to attack you if you let Emily die. I know you did. Emily is, some may say the bitch.
That might be the one I killed.
I'm so mad at you because Emily is the coolest character.
Was she? She's not the one that was like in the cabin and then got ripped away, right?
No, that was I want to say Jess.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm bringing up all their names just so we have no confusion. And because it's been like at least a couple of years since I played this game.
Was Emily the one that was like? She was like dating one of the guys, and then they saw her with someone else or something in the beginning?
Yeah, she used to date Mike, and now she's dating Matt.
Okay, yeah, and that girl, I killed her off purposely towards the end. I saved her for a long time. I saved her for a long time, and then I like almost towards the end of the game, and then she just kept getting more and more annoying, so I just...
No, she's so cool. So she you survived the mine chase with her where you see the Wendigo for the first time?
Yeah.
You survived that with her and then killed her. You sociopath.
Yeah. They were like, it was the scene where they're like in the, I think the basement of like the cabin or something.
Chose to kill her.
Yeah.
Dude, remind me to never get in a situation like this where we're hunted by Wendigos together. Because you'll just kill me easily. Because I felt so much kinship with Emily after we survived, and I say we because she's a real person to me. After we survived the chase in the coal mines, like the coolest scene in the game.
Yeah,
you felt nothing for her after that. She pulled out all the tricks to survive. She was jumping on different pathways. She was lighting fires. She was so cool. Oh my god, I'm mad at you.
Yeah, I think it was like Mike, he like killed her off or something like towards the end.
That was the most optional death you gave. Okay, I see you differently now. You aren't the person that I've known for all these years.
I first like I was saving her, and then we got there, and then I think she was just like in the scene like harping over and over again, and they just like made you like kept like I don't know, you have to like pick like what their choices are, obviously, and I felt like she just kept being more and more annoying and hard to deal with, so I was like, I'm killing her off. And that's
You're crazy. First of all, I wanted to keep all 8 alive, even though I didn't like them. Like, obviously Rami Malek's character was like so disturbing, and like he was clearly troubled, and like my least favorite, and I wanted him dead. But like, I even still, he did not survive for me. He died. But I tried to keep them alive. I tried to keep them all alive. I don't know about you. I was actively terrified, I would say, like almost every minute of this game, because I didn't understand how the deaths worked, and I thought it could happen at any moment.
Right. Yeah. I started the game off, and I was gonna try to keep everybody alive, and I noticed that like when you were in the little room with the I forget his name, like the doctor guy, and he's like talking to you, you kind of have to like he breaks the fourth wall and starts like talking to you if you like pick certain things that you didn't pick before. And I was trying to like make sure I remembered every single thing that I clicked, and I was like trying to make sure I followed the same storyline, and I was trying to save a lot of the characters until towards the end.
But didn't only one character survive for you?
Yeah.
Wait, who was it?
Matt, I think his name is.
Oh, Matt, like the guy who was played by not Justice Smith.
Yeah. It was the one that was like dating what's her face, Emily or whatever, or like they were originally.
I will say, by the way, because I mentioned Justice Smith is in The Quarry as like one of the main characters. Justice Smith, we're so sorry. We're still sorry. Not that he gives like an amazing performance in that. He's actually like very monotone, but just because we keep talking about him as our favorite. That's our favorite. Anyway, you saving Matt is just so magnificent to me, because Matt is literally like the most killable character, and he was like in the game like basically to get like so new players can understand that characters can die, and he's the one you saved.
he was like making it to the end, and then I didn't see him for a while. And we were just playing as like Mike and Sam is Hayden Panettiere's character.
Yeah, Sam.
We were playing as them, like obviously like towards the end. I feel like that's like one of the main storylines. And then they pretty much both sacrificed themselves, and I didn't even get a chance to do anything differently. Like they were just like that was like my only option, and then he was just like, I hadn't seen Matt in a while, and it just ended up being him that was saved at the end.
Tisk tisk tisk.
I was like, I was wondering when we were getting, I was like getting closer to the end. I'm like, where is this guy? I haven't seen him since like that one scene where I think he was like in the tower for me, and then it like collapsed.
Yeah, basically he's pretty much gone after the tower collapses, and you just have to keep him alive, and like it's like maybe 1 or 2 scenes after that.
Yeah, and he just ended up alive. Mike pretty much sacrificed himself, and Sam sacrificed herself for Mike. I guess that was my own choice, but and then Mike, like his only option after that was to just say like kill himself, blow up the building.
Well, you just misplayed that sequence because there's obviously a way to get them both out. You just have to, like stall and pass enough quick time events that they don't get killed.
Yeah, I think I just like ended up playing differently, and they just did that.
So for me, the characters who survived my playthrough were Emily, Matt, Mike, and Sam.
Right.
I saved half of them.
I mean, that's good though. At least you did that. I kind of want to play it again so I could get like more trophies and like play it a little differently.
How scrupulously did you search for like those totem clues and pieces of evidence and stuff like that? That was like one of my main objectives every time I was like walking around the map. Yeah, I was like trying to look for that. With getting everything, I wanted to get everything because I think if you actually complete like there's like 3 different collections of artifacts and like clues you can find. Yeah, I think if you actually complete like any of the 3 of them, like you get different choices. Like I think you have to complete one of them in order to save Rami Malek's character. That might be wrong, but like you unlock a new option because you understand what actually happened.
Yeah, that was. I think that I need to go back and maybe replay it to try to get more, unlock more things. But I was attempting to get a lot of them.
It's hard to get every single one of them. Like I never get all of them.
But I like that, and I like that this wasn't a time loop story like they were trying to do with the movie. I like that it's just like one full playthrough.
Yeah. There are like similar games where it is time loop based. Life is Strange is probably the most famous, and that's not a horror game, but that is like it's like a dramatic story about like someone who realizes they can like jump through different time loops, and so you make similar decisions. Like it's similar as in like you make different decisions that send you down different paths, but you can kind of like she is aware that she's in a loop and stuff like that. So that if you're interested in more, like I would also recommend that one.
Okay, I did see that game. Isn't there like more than one of those games?
I would say the first one is the only truly good one. I love the first one. I played the third one and it was like meh. And then there's a fourth one that just came out that's apparently awful, and I haven't played it.
This is insane that we're covering a video game on our movie critic podcast.
I'm so excited. Well, this is like what I've been waiting for this whole time. And like you like just one day you're like, by the way, I bought a PlayStation and like all these games, and I was like, oh my god. It
was pretty much like out of the blue. I just decided that I wanted this. I wanted to play this game.
Hell? Like you were literally making fun of me for playing video games. I felt so othered by you.
Well, what was your favorite part of the game?
Oh my god. Well, I already said it. The Emily coal mine chase.
Right.
Obviously.
I mean, that is like a big part of the story.
Yeah. I mean, it's all so good. Like the Saw decision they have to make.
Right. And then that turned out to be fake.
I know, that was so funny. The basement where the ghost stuff is happening with Ashley and Chris is really good, I thought.
Yeah, true.
How did by the way, how did they die for you, Ashley and Chris?
Which ones were those? Oh, was Chris the guy with the glasses?
And he was like kind of a nerd and a dork.
Yeah. He was lasting a long time through the game. I think he died when Actually, okay, yeah, I do remember when he died. He made it all the way to where actually Larry Fessenden is in the game. He plays the guy that's like kind of tells them about the Wendigo situation.
Yeah.
And he ended up dying in the game for me. And at the same time, I guess I wasn't fast enough to click the buttons, and Chris died too.
By the way, okay, he died the same exact spot for me. It's actually so funny to me that you said he made it all the way. That's the first possible time he can die.
Right. And
I think Larry Fessenden I think that's scripted. He dies no matter what.
Yeah, and they were like chasing him, and I guess I wasn't fast enough to click the buttons or something. And
for me, they ripped his head off, and then they rolled it to Ashley in the house, and I was like staring at my team. I was so upset. He was my first death.
I'm surprised they killed his character off so fast, actually.
Yeah, because that was like chapter 6 or 7 out of 10, I think.
Yeah.
And then Ashley for me died because they were gonna hook up, Chris and Ashley. Like I was bringing them together. I was making all the right decisions, and then Ashley heard, I think, was it Jess in like the mines, like underground, and she went to investigate.
Yeah,
it turns out the Wendigo, wouldn't you know it, they can mimic voices perfectly. So it was a trap, and she just kind of got her head ripped off. Yeah,
that's what happened for me too in that scene.
My God. That's funny that both those characters have the same deaths for us.
Yeah, because you can like either follow the voice or go like a different direction, and I followed the voice.
Well, by following, I thought I was gonna save another character by following the voice. Right. Little did I know that I was actually condemning one to death. So.
But yeah. I did like the gameplay, and I thought even the graphics for 2015 were pretty good for that era.
I think 2015, kind of how Avatar in 2012 kind of set the new foundation for movies. I think 2015 kind of set the new standard for video game graphics. It's okay, we're here. This is as good as it gets, you know. Right. I mean, they're still incrementally improving, but until Dawn, the graphics were good, but also just the lighting, and, the set design. It's
true,
gorgeous. Every scene is so good looking.
I agree, and I just liked how interactive, you're holding a flashlight. I like how interactive that kind of stuff was. It just looked really good, and walking in the snow, your snow prints and stuff were there.
And I loved how the whole game was blue, basically. There was barely any warm colors in the game. All the sets were blue and dark, right, to really drive home how cold it is. Yeah. Something that the remake changed is it actually introduced warm colors into specific scenes, particularly in the beginning, right, before the sun sets. Okay. It just doesn't look right to me. This is a blue game. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I heard that they kind of changed some of the Wendigo's features a little bit in the remake.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know about that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked pretty good.
When you stood up and revealed that skull mask behind you with the horns, I jumped out of my chair and fell to the floor in fear.
Honestly, you should.
That's basically a Wendigo skull. I mean, a traditional one, not how they are in the game, because in the game they're kind of just weird zombie things.
Yeah, actually, speaking about that, I that's what I thought. I thought they were gonna look more like that when I heard. Yeah. Ashley got a little bit of a spoiler for the game about the Wendigo thing, because she looked something up about the game, and she wouldn't tell me. She just kind of hinted at this, and I was I kind of connected the dots.
Did you and Ashley play together? Were you both making decisions, or was it just she was watching?
For the first little bit, I was playing when she was in the room, and she was kind of helping me.
Yeah.
But
had she played it before or no?
No.
You got it. Like, is she interested? Like, you have to make her play it, and then like you can be like, okay, be careful. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fun to watch other people play it. I've actually watched like 5 or 6 YouTube playthroughs of it just to see like how people navigate and like decision make and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that'll actually be fun. I should actually tell her to play that game.
Yeah, she would love it. She would love it, I think.
One thing I didn't like, well, I mean, I guess it was cool, but it was just like you just kind of kept switching between the players. Like, I mean, I guess it's the only real way to tell the story fully in the game is like kind of switch between the players and the scenes. But I kind of wish it was a little bit set up a little bit differently in that aspect. I don't know how, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it has like 4 or 5 different subplots. Like, the characters are so scattered. Like, Matt and Emily are in the tower, and like Mike is like who knows where, like in this abandoned hospital, and Sam's in the house, you know. I don't know. I think there's no other way that they could have done it.
True. I think it felt like jarring to me because sometimes you would be like playing as a character and then you would end up in a place and then it would just switch characters that you were playing. Like you were because you would be playing as like Sam or something and then like she would be with Chris and then they would get somewhere and then it would switch over to Chris, like you're playing as Chris now kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That never bothered me.
But yeah, I did like the game though, and I felt like the story, in my opinion, is one of the better ones for horror. Games.
It's a great story. It's like you said, like it's such a standard of a game. Right. Like when people talk about like you have to make like what are the best decision making games, like that's on every list because it can't not be, you know.
True.
The Quarry is a really good follow-up. I think that was actually a COVID release. I think it kind of had to get rushed to put out because it doesn't quite land as satisfyingly as Until Dawn does, in my opinion. I think the first 6 or 7 chapters are amazing, and then you can kind of tell it gets more and more rushed as it goes on.
Are you gonna play Death Stranding 2 when it comes out?
I will. ... Eventually. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it full price.
Right. Yeah. I would love to see like where this game ends up towards the end.
So I'll talk about my experience a bit because I want to hear about yours too. Like, are we completely jumping to Death Stranding? Like, are we done with Until Dawn now?
Well,
I mean, yeah,
we can wrap up Until Dawn if you want.
Sorry, that was so unforgiving. But yeah, Until Dawn. Like, I guess I haven't played it in a few years. Like, I think we said basically everything. Like, it's one of my all-time favorite games. Right. I will replay very, very, very few games in my life, and that's one of them. I love to play that game. It spooked me the frick out. I think, like, as soon as I was playing Chapter 1, and, like, you know, you have that cute snowball fight in the beginning between Jess and Mike. Like, I was like, this is going to be an all-timer. Like, I am going to love this game, and I did. It delivered on every quadrant for me.
I think you should check out some of Larry Fessenden's movies.
Yeah. I think though, like I play video games, and I've said this before, I think on the podcast, like to me video games are the best storytelling medium, right? And like that's probably controversial because like the books and movies and TV shows, like video games are the best because it immerses you in the characters. Like for me, it gives that extra level of immersion that just brings the story to the next level.
I mean, true. It definitely I mean, like, because at least you get to like make decisions and play as the characters in games, so it's more interactive than most movies.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Did you see The Last of Us, the show?
Not yet.
Okay, you need to play the game. If you want to know what I'm talking about when I say storytelling's the best medium in video games, play The Last of Us. It is incredible as a story.
We do have it. We have the remastered version or whatever.
Yeah, it's you will not regret it. You have to play it. That should be your next game.
Well, I mean, yeah, I want to get through Death Stranding, but yeah, Death Stranding is such a long game too. It's like 13 or 14 chapters.
And the thing is, 50% of that game is chapter 2 and 3.
Yeah, I believe it. That's where I'm on chapter 3.
Once you beat those, everything happens so quickly in comparison.
Right.
Like, I'm shocked. You're in chapter 3 and you like this game? That's incredible to me.
I'll be honest, I can see why people don't, or like maybe get to like a certain point and then they're like, I don't know about this. I can see why, but you have to have patience, I can tell.
Chapter 2 and 3 are so hard to get through.
Yeah.
From a player's perspective, it is so it's like, and I get why. So I've played the full game. I'm not going to spoil it at all because like you're still playing it, obviously.
Yeah.
I get why in retrospect it makes sense to me, like on a thematic level, why they set up the way that it did. That doesn't mean it's enjoyable to go through the first 2 chapters because it's rough.
I saw what you mentioned that to me, and then I saw some people complaining about that online, like on Reddit and other places, just like talking about how they felt it was like boring, I guess, and just like they couldn't really. It was kind of rough.
At this point in the story and the gameplay, it is essentially a walking simulator, and that's like where it gets the most flack, and that's where it gets the most criticism. Is like, this is just a game where you have to figure out how to carry packages, and it's boring, and it is that for a time, and then it becomes something extremely different.
I can tell, like, just now, just by the story, like it's definitely gonna get there. Like they're gonna get somewhere with it. And I can tell why they needed to do this walking and you're taking packages places, and it's almost like you're learning the map and learning where to go and learning how to navigate as the character and what the best course of action is. And some of it felt a little bit redundant to me. That was what was the most rough, was because like I felt like you would have to do something in the first beginning of the game and then they would explain it through like expository dialogue, and then you would pretty much have to like do it again almost, like. But I can understand why they're doing that. It's definitely like their choice. They definitely chose to do it that way, because some games just skip all that. You just get right into the action.
By the way, I played this back in, I want to say 2019. Actually, this may have been 2020. It may have been a COVID game, so it's been years. But I remember I hated the combat at first. Against the BTs or whatever those like Dementor monsters are. Yeah. And I just didn't understand it. Like, and it was rough, but like, I'm hiccuping, by the way, sorry. Like chapter 4, 5, and 6 to me are peak gaming, and like you'll see why. And like somewhere around there is when Margaret Qualley's character comes in, who I've talked about before, and like Margaret Qualley has like an amazing part in this game. Like once you get through chapter 3, once you get to 4, 5, and 6, it's gonna blow your mind, because there's so many things that are in this game that you have absolutely no idea are in it yet. Gameplay wise and story wise, like you have no clue what you're in for.
But I am excited. I'm excited to finish the game. It's just really long, but I mean, I like that. Like, there's so much in the game. Like, there's so much story, so much backstory. I feel like this might be one of the best storylines for like any game that's like ever been created.
It's really hard to keep track of.
Like the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like at the beginning, but I feel like I'm kind of like getting it. I'm kind of piecing things together.
Well, it's such a weird world, because there's like the time rain, like rain that makes you age,
time
and
fall,
and it's like post-apocalyptic America, and like the whole storyline is you traveling across the country to restore basically the internet, but they call it like the chiral something or whatever. And you have to like deliver the internet to people. It's so bizarre. But then there's like there's the afterlife, which they call the beach, and like there's these creatures that crawl out of the afterlife, and like if you die and there's a dead body, like it just explodes and levels like a quarter of a mile around them, and then for some reason you need babies to guide you around the BTs. It's so weird, but it's Hideo Kojima. Kojima is how you say his name, right?
Yeah,
I'm probably mispronouncing that. He is known for having the craziest storylines with like his other series, like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
He's known for just being absolutely bonkers. So
yeah, and I like that. I like that it's just so out there, and you can tell it's like his creation.
Yeah,
I really like that about it.
Yeah. Everything that I like about the game happens later, so I feel like I'm very limited with what I can say about it.
Yeah, and I totally get it, and I totally understand why some people would be like, just turn this off. But as I'm playing, because the first like 2 chapters are really bad with that, and then like the 3rd chapter, you're kind of getting more into the story, and like you have to, there's more things to do now, and you're not just like just walking around, like you're actually like interacting with the world. And yeah. I like that there's more aspects that you're finding.
Yeah, and you haven't even scratched the surface yet with like the things you could actually do with the world and interact with. But
I like it. I the thing is you know what, the graphics in this game even better than Until Dawn, because I thought like I was like, oh wow, like there's a lot to do in Until Dawn. Like it's really like interactive with like the world elements. Even like when I mentioned like when you were walking in the snow, you leave snow prints, and like they're really realistic for the most part. But in Death Stranding, like you can tell there's like something called ambient occlusion when you're doing like 3D work. That's like just like different shadows and like the way like the sun bounces off elements, and I felt like that worked. They did like a really good job in Death Stranding. Like it's like the way like you take steps are like really realistic, and the move your body. Yeah, with the weight and the gravity and like the terrain matters. If like how steep the hill you're walking down. Like, I just remember like tripping. My association with the first half of this game is just tripping and just watching my poor little boxes like, roll down the hill. Exactly. Or like you have to like figure out how to walk through the water. Or you get swept away and then your boxes just fly. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I definitely lost so many boxes in the river. But yeah, it's kind of funny to me hearing you talk about that, because like it's funny that the footprints in the snow is so impressive to you, because I'm like as someone who like never really stopped with video games, it's like they figured that out a long time ago. I mean, true, but like I don't know, I just felt like they did a good job with that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, no, it's just funny because like you missed a gap, you know. Like it's funny like, to watch you come back and see how much it's advanced, and like to me it's just like, well, yeah, that was like 10 years ago. Yeah. Honestly, but yeah, we're gonna have to get a PS5 eventually. I know, because all the new games. I mean, Death Stranding 2 is, I think, only going to be PS5. We're definitely now. It's like PS4's done. Like you're not getting any new game. And about time, by the way, because it's been 5 years of PS5, and like there are barely any PS5 exclusive games. It's just rough out there right now for the video game industry in general. True. But yeah, we're finally moving away from that. And we want to play Borderlands 4. We're not even there yet. We're still on like the second one. But once we get there, we want to play that too, and that's going to be a PS5 exclusive as well, I think. Listen, here's why I'm so excited that you're back with video games, is because you're like me, where it kind of seems like you play for the story primarily. Over the gameplay. That is what I liked about games. We're such a rare breed. I'm telling you, it's so uncommon to find people like that. True. So, I'm going to tell you some of the best story games I've ever played, and you're going to start to build a list, okay? Okay. You have to trust me that these games are good. Okay.
I already said The Last of Us. That's probably number one. It's just that game is well over a decade old. It came out like 2012 or 13 or something.
Yeah.
It completely modernized storytelling in video games. I think that was the first game that was like, here's how you infuse story into like modern day gameplay.
Yeah.
And it still feels brand new to like this day. It's incredible. It's an incredible achievement. Okay, Last of Us. Next, God of War.
Okay, I have played like some older ones for like the PS3, but I haven't played the newer generation.
They basically rebooted the game. It's like a completely different game now. It's like open world, like semi-open world. Just a new storytelling method to it. Like it's just not the same of what it was.
Yeah.
Specifically, the one that came out in 2018 is mind-blowing because of the gameplay, but also because the story is so good.
Yeah.
And the characters are good. And it's the one game that I've played where it's I want to say filmed. It's presented as a continuous shot. The camera literally never breaks throughout the whole game.
Okay.
Which it's impressive when movies do that. Imagine a video game doing that.
True.
And they do it. They do it for that one and the sequel Ragnarok, which came out like 2021 or 2 or something.
Yeah, those are on the list to play because I have played the older generation God of War games and they were pretty good.
They continue the story, but they find like completely new depth and like characterization and like Kratos is an amazing character. You have to play them.
Would you recommend the Fallout games?
I never played those.
Never? Okay.
No, I avoid first person shooters.
Okay. Well, I mean,
is that even a first person shooter? I don't even know.
I thought well, I've played like the older Fallout games, but we have Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And yeah, I don't know. I heard that those were like decent stories.
Yeah, well, it's Bethesda first of all, right?
Yeah.
Or am I lying? I don't know.
Unless they sold it. Bethesda used to make them.
Yeah. I can't find all the new games for some reason. Series. Let's see.
I think number 4 might be the newest one.
Yeah, Bethesda makes them. So Fallout 4.
76 is the newest one.
It's an action. So I don't even think it's first person shooter. I'm just stupid and I lie.
I think like the first original ones were set up that way. Like back on like the PlayStation 1 or something.
Either way, I'm very down on Bethesda. I think they were great. Like obviously Skyrim again is like like a standard setter. I feel like I've said that a lot. But like Skyrim is open world. Like Skyrim set the standard for open world games.
Yeah. True.
For its time amazing. I think they haven't like evolved past it. Like they released a game last year called Starfield or something Star,
right?
And it was really not well received because they were like Starfield because they were like this is essentially like great graphics, but this is essentially the same gameplay that we got from Bethesda like 10 years ago.
Right. True. True.
So I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We have those that is like in the game, like play. We're gonna play those eventually.
Yeah, but listen, you're gonna laugh at my next recommendation, but you have to trust me on this. Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man.
I don't know about Spider-Man.
I know you don't like Spider-Man. This game will make you care about Spider-Man.
Do you do you recommend like the Batman games? I started playing an older one on Xbox 360.
The Arkham games.
Yeah.
Yes, the Arkham games are incredible. They're old at this point. They're really old. The newest one was like 2015 or something, but they're like as long as you know you're playing an older game, much more limited.
Right.
They're so good.
Yeah, I started playing the first Arkham Asylum game, I think it was.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight is the main trilogy. Then there's like a prequel somewhere in there that I never played.
Right.
Those games, just strong recommend. I don't like the third one is the weakest by a lot. The third one, they changed way too much from it. The first 2 games though are so good.
But you recommend Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is maybe like for the PS4 generation. I think the best games to come out were God of War and Spider-Man. I think those were the 2 best PlayStation games of that generation.
Right.
Gameplay is incredible. Like swinging around the city is like it feels amazing. It feels natural. The combat is so good. But the story, I'm telling you, like you will care about Spider-Man after this game because the story is so good. And you don't have to like Spider-Man outside of this game to follow. It's its own contained story.
Right.
It's really good.
Okay. I'll put it on the list. I'll see.
Put it on the list. And if you get PS Plus, guess what? It's free.
What other games you got?
Okay.
That have like good stories.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, yeah, I saw that on the PlayStation Store and it looked really interesting, but I haven't had a chance to play that.
It's the prettiest game I've ever played.
It looks really cool.
Not even the graphics necessarily, it's the art direction. Like the cinematography that they use and like the land that they built it's just, oh my god, it's like I don't like I've said the word incredible too many times, but like it's just mind-blowing. Like the game looks so good. The story for me did take a while to heat up, but once it did, and once I like realized the direction it was taking, it was really mind blowing. Like the end of the game, it just keeps crescendoing, and like the end of the game is the best part, and then it's just done, and you're like, oh my god, that was so cool. Well, I love when stories are able to do that.
I think that one will definitely go on the list for sure.
Yeah,
because it looks
and
really
the
cool.
gameplay is really good. You can play sneaky, you can play like bold, you can play dirty, you can play honorably, and that's what the game is really about. It's about like, okay, like there is a new, like it's about this island, Tsushima, obviously, like being invaded by Mongolian warriors. It's like, okay, we are in a new age where they are using new tactics to just decimate us.
Right.
Do we keep the honorable samurai way of fighting, or do we have to evolve and like, become dirty and come up with new weapons and tactics in order to fight back and defend our people?
True.
And that's the core conundrum that the character goes through, and it's like it oh my god, the perfect marriage of gameplay and story and theme. It's I can't say it to you. I can't say why it's so good. It just is.
Well, I think I definitely want to play that. I saw it on there, and I was thinking about potentially getting that one.
Another one that's amazing that isn't like this isn't necessarily just PlayStation, but it's on there, is Hades. Hades is a roguelike, which means like every time you die you have to start over. There's like you have to beat like it's like 25 or 30 levels in a row without dying, and that's how you clear it. And there's like bosses in between and stuff. Hades set the standard and revolutionized roguelike games, because it's like dying is progress, because you have to die in order to like unlock like the story. The story is built around you dying. Okay. And like you progress relationships with characters, and like eventually get to the point where you're like finding items and bringing them back, and like you build your relationship with this character, and that helps you improve this stat or find this rare item. Right. And like you unlock like new weapons, and you unlock like all this good stuff that it's oh my god, Hades. I'm being such a nerd. I'm just like geeking out all these games that I've played, but like honestly, the story of Hades is so good, and it's so entrenched in the gameplay itself.
I just love that it took me so long to kind of get into the newer generation of games.
I'm literally gonna text you all these games, and then we're gonna have a new series in addition to the movies. We're gonna be like, it's called "What Did Alex Play?" and like we're just gonna talk about all these games that you've been playing.
Honestly, well, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Do you know any like games that are cool for like the PlayStation for that have like multiple players? Not like necessarily like online, but like maybe like that Ashley and I could like play together.
Like couch co-op. So the best one is
like
called
that.
It Takes Two, free on PlayStation Plus, I think. It might have been a monthly game in the past, but I have it for free.
Okay.
Oh my god, I think we could play that. We should play It Takes Two. I'm being so fucking serious right now. Because I think, because I have a copy, I think I can share it with you and you just get it for free, I think is how it works.
Right.
And we can play it together. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, like what's the game about?
So it's literally like, so there's two games actually. The first is called It Takes Two. It actually won Game of the Year in like 2019 or whenever it was released. It won Game of the Year. And it's about like this couple that's about to divorce, and then it's kind of creepy. Like their kid casts a curse on them, it shrinks them, and they have to go through like all these crazy levels to like, and like they kind of like reconnect their marriage as it goes. I played like a little bit with my friend, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get back to it. But that could be an episode. Like we play this together, and we're on a call because we have to communicate. Like we have to coordinate while we play, like vocally, or else we won't figure out the puzzles. You know what I mean? It's very like it requires two people.
Okay.
We're gonna do that. I'm being so serious. We're gonna do that.
All right.
And then there's a new one that just came out called Split Fiction, which everyone is saying is like the best game of the year so far.
Right. I heard about that game, but I don't really know too much about it.
We're playing. I'm so excited. I'm going to put it in my calendar. We're going to find a time. We're going to play it, and we're going to talk about it.
Okay, all right. Maybe like, that could be our next like game like podcast where we talk about a game.
You're literally like we're never going to play.
I'm actually never going to play that.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm not really interested, but okay.
But no, it'll be cool. It'll be fun. Do you play Red Dead Redemption at all?
That's okay. That's so funny they mentioned that. That's my next big game. I'm just so busy in my life now. I didn't want to start like a 100-hour game, but it's on my PlayStation. I have it ready to go. It's just I need to find the time to dedicate.
Did you have you played like the first one at all?
No, I'm gonna start with 2 because it's apparently standalone. It's apparently like much better, so I'm gonna play that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was asking because I wanted to play 2 eventually. We have the first one on our Xbox, and I was gonna start that eventually because I've already played a little bit of that like years and years and years ago. But I wanted to kind of get into number 2. I heard it's good.
I heard it's one of the best ever. Because it's by Rockstar Games, which makes GTA, and it's literally GTA in the Wild Wild West. And I did play a little bit on my friend's PlayStation, and like literally, I took like in my first ever playthrough, I like took over a full train. And it was just like I was like lassoing people and like dangling them out the side as we were like crossing a bridge, and like I was just going absolutely mental. And then like eventually like the police or whatever like somehow caught me, like they got to the train and like blew up the tracks or something.
Right.
I'm so excited for that.
But yeah, that should be fun. I'm gonna eventually be playing that too.
That's another Game of the Year winner.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, now we have some games that we gotta get caught up on at least for me.
This is such a fun new discovery. I'm gonna be texting you about it all the time. I'm gonna be so annoying to you about like, did you play Spider-Man yet?
All right. Do you still play your Switch at all?
I played this game called Balatro, which is literally like a roguelike poker game where you have to like just clear levels.
Right.
That was like I don't know, like I played that while watching TV if it was like RuPaul's Drag Race or something I didn't need to be like locked into.
Right.
It was always a secondary activity for me, but other than that I really haven't touched my Switch in like probably at least a year now.
That's crazy.
The Switch 2 is coming out in probably a few months, so it's like the Switch is just outdated at this point, you know.
I know. I kind of want one though, like handheld, just so I can play handheld. Like maybe get like a Switch Lite.
Yeah, they're probably going to be pretty cheap like later this year because they're last gen now. So
True. But I mean, isn't like Mario Party 8 so fun? Didn't we play that together?
Wii. Mario Party 8 is Wii, you idiot.
Which one did we play together on the Switch? Did we play one of those games together?
Oh, when you were here in my apartment?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we definitely played one of the Switch ones.
Yeah.
There was a Mario Party that came out last year, so I guess I lied. I played the Mario Party that came out last year.
Right.
I invited my neighbors over to play. I played it with my brothers for like all of Christmas break. Like I have like 100 hours in the new Mario Party. It's fantastic.
I mean, I think like I do like Nintendo games, like older style. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
they are pretty.
There's so many. I've been talking strictly about PlayStation. You want to talk about Nintendo? That's a whole new thing. The new Zelda games are amazing. Mario Odyssey is incredible.
Right. I feel like you are like more of a Nintendo person. Like you have always played those kind of games more.
Because that's what I played growing up. Like that. Right. That's what I only played. And then when I joined, now that I'm definitely more of a PlayStation person now.
Right.
I mean, until the Switch 2 comes out, then I'll probably I'm sure so many games are going to come out for Nintendo. I'll be back on them.
And then you're just going to throw your PS5 like out the window, like.
the last 2 or 3 years, I've definitely been like it's been like 80% PlayStation.
Well, that's cool though. Nice.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even know that they were coming out with the Switch 2.
Yeah, they announced it. They're actually next week. They're having like this big reveal trailer for it, and they're going to announce like hopefully a bunch of games for it. So
that's crazy.
That. Yeah.
Well, this
have
is
I
exciting.
Nerded out enough for you? Have I been nerdy enough for you?
You're always
never going to look at me the same way again.
You're always peak nerd.
Yeah, basically, actually. Gagged me a bit for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's exciting. We're excited. We're getting through some games.
I'm gonna give you so many recommendations. You don't know what you stepped into, by the way. You have no fucking clue what's in store for you.
You're not. Well, should we wrap up our Until Dawn discussion?
Can we please wrap this up?
We've been trying to record for 2 hours.
I know. What if I'm like, actually, can we go back to talking about Wicked for a bit?
Right. Well, finally, bye. Okay.
Get the fuck out of my house.